I have invented the world I see. This does kind of solidify the one from previously, or yesterday, hopefully, if you're doing the courses right, the lessons right. So it's interesting because, yes, you're not a victim of the world you see because you have invented the world you see. Yeah, and I love that. Yes, as you still think of them as different, the outside world and the inside world, it seems like it's applicable to both differently. And you don't always recognize and grasp what is the inner and what is the outer. Of course they're different. I have just these little thoughts that no one else has, and it's a rather remarkable thing as you're coming into this discovery, and hopefully actually recognizing and experiencing this, that they're both in your imagination. Now, you're probably like me. I was like, wait a second, what do you mean both in my imagination? I have an imagination where I think of stuff and it's kind of just lofty and interesting ideas, and then there's tangible physical stuff. What do you mean? Well, remember, this is talking about more so that dreamer, and that dreamer's mind is all of this in the imagination. So yes, the outside world in the imagination, as well as what you think of yourself as, is also in that same imagination. This course is actually talking to you as the dreamer, and that's what its attempts to do. Is that, yes, it seems a little confusing because that ego personality little box self, it finds this very arbitrary, very confusing, about completely insane topics. What do you mean it's all in my imagination? You're telling me I'm crazy? It's like, I used to think of it like I'm this like monkey or something in a rubber room, literally believing I'm in some alternate reality and thinking I have this personality and the whole life. It's pretty intense to think about, because this is breaking down everything that you think is real, everything that you know of your world. Hopefully, if you're doing this right and applying this all throughout the day, it is pretty intense, isn't it? It can be pretty intense. You find yourself doing everything you do in your life still, right? But you start recognizing there might just possibly be a bit of a recognition. Yeah, I'm willing to believe that I've invented the world I see, but still a little confused by it. And so recognize again, this is not about your little person. Your ego did not invent the world it sees. It is part of the invention. It is part of, say, the whole dream reality. Okay? So it is a construct. I'm a construct. Just like everyone. You, me, this book, all of this is all this constructs, invention. Interesting word. But creation within the mind of God. Often we hear this about there is no difference between the outer world and the inner world idea, and you might think, well, of course, yes, there is a difference. I think in here, and it's not as vivid, and yes, we talked about that a little bit, but in the recognition that, no, it's just because this whole thing is imaginated. This whole thing this is as much dream as this is as much dream. This is in that dreamer's mind. So the dreamer also, one issue that a lot of people have with that dreamer concept is that they think that it somehow it diminishes the value of what the world is or anything like that, that it's just a silly imagination, silly illusion, That has no value. And essentially, it is as much as you want to see. And that's the one thing that pointed out in this. You will see it as much as you want to see it, and you will not see it, and you will stop seeing it, and you will get out of it when you want to. Yes.